Is the infamous Dragon Turbo deck from Edison format playable in REDU? With Dragunity, it certainly is. For the main deck, I have 3 copies of Dragunity Arma Mistletoe. Mistletoe is our main extender in the Dragunity deck. When he's summoned to the field from the hand, we can equip a Dragunity from the graveyard to him, which usually ends up being the Phalanx, which can then be summoned to make an immediate level 8 synchro. The main way to get a Dragunity to the field to summon a Mistletoe is to summon Ducks from your hand. And in order for Ducks and Mistletoe to do something, we need to play Phalanx. Then we of course play 1 copy of the limited Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, 2 copies of White Stone of Legend, and 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then I play 1 Quackimere Drago, 1 copy of Debris Dragon, 1 copy of Blackwing Sephiroth the Elite. And for the last 2 monsters, I play 2 copies of Tragodia. And for the spells, I play 5 copies of Dragon Ravine, 3 copies of Super Rejuvenation, 3 copies of Traden, 3 copies of Cards of Consistency, 3 copies of Upstart Goblin, 1 copy of Pot of Avarice, 1 Card Destruction, 1 Monster Reborn, and the last spell is 1 copy of Heavy Storm. For the extra deck, I have 1 copy of Queen Dragoon Jin, 1 copy of Steel Swarm Roach, 2 copies of Hieratic Dragon King of Atum, 1 copy of Insector Excabeetle, 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 2 copies of Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, and the last exceed is 1 copy of Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. For the synchros, I play 2 copies of Dragunity Knight Vajrayana, 1 Dragunity Knight Gaydurg, 1 copy of Scrap Dragon, 1 copy of Stardust Dragon, and the last synchro is 1 copy of Trident Dragon. For the side deck, I have 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of Maxi, I sided a 2nd copy of Drago, 3 copies of Hieratic Dragon of Tefnut, 2 copies of Offerings to the Dune, 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, and the last 2 side deck cards are 2 copies of Needle Sealing. So how can we best utilize RedMD in REDU format? The best way to tutor RedMD is with Atum. Stay open with Phalanx, Ravine, and Mistletoe. You can activate Ravine, pitch Phalanx to search Ducks to your hand. Then you normal summon the Ducks, equip the Phalanx from grave, use its effect to summon himself, send him to the graveyard to summon Mistletoe, Mistletoe effect, equip. Generally here you want access to Sephiroth, so you synchro these 2 away. For Gaydurg, use Gaydurg's effect to search Sephiroth and then discard him. Then you overlay both of these into Atum. Use Atum's effect, detaching the Gaydurg, summon RedMD from your deck. RedMD's effect, summon back the Gaydurg, bounce RedMD to your hand, summon Sephiroth and you take 400 damage. Use Gaydurg's effect. Should you have any dragon monster in your hand, you can make the end field where you pass with the Drago, or if you're going second and you intend to make Trident Dragon to kill your opponent, then you can search something else. But let's say we go for the Drago play, so we have any blank dragon in our hand. Then we use Gaydurg's effect to search and discard Debris Dragon. Then we banish Atum to summon RedMD from our hand. We use RedMD's effect to bring back the Debris Dragon. We overlay Debris and Sephiroth into a Queen Dragoon Jin. We use Queen's effect to summon back Mistletoe from the graveyard. Then we overlay Mistletoe and Gaydurg into our second Atum. We use Atum's effect to summon Drago from our deck. What if you went second and you want to kill your opponent with Trident Dragon? Say we had the same hand of Ravine, Phalanx, and Mistletoe. You go activate Ravine, pitch Phalanx. Here you add Ducks. You normal summon Ducks, equip the Phalanx, summon the Phalanx, summon Mistletoe by sending the Phalanx and equipping it again. Here you special summon the Phalanx. You synchro these 2 away. For Gaydurg, here you use Gaydurg's effect, search and pitch Sephiroth. Then you overlay the Mistletoe and Gaydurg into Atum. Use Atum's effect, attach Gaydurg, summon RedMD from your deck. RedMD effect, revive the Gaydurg, bounce the RedMD to summon Sephiroth from the grave. If you go for the Trident Dragon line here, it doesn't really matter what you send with Gaydurg, but an option is to search and discard Drago, and then revive it with RedMD so you play around Gorse, Fader, or Trag. But if you just aim to go for the Trident Dragon, it's better to send a White Stone of Legend to the graveyard, and add the Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand for free. Then you banish the Atum to summon RedMD from your hand. Use RedMD's effect to summon back Phalanx from your graveyard. Synchro away the Phalanx and Sephiroth into a Vajrayana to equip and summon the Phalanx. Then you overlay these 2 into your second Atum. Use Atum's effect, summon Blue Eyes from your deck. Blue Eyes and Phalanx for Trident Dragon. Trident Dragon's effect, pop your Ravine, and then you overlay Gaia Charger on top of Atum. Now, should your opponent not have a field, this is 11,400 damage. What if you play against Wind-Ups or Dino Rabbit, where the Drago doesn't really do anything? Start by activating Ravine, pitch the Phalanx, search Ducks, normal summon Ducks, equip and summon the Phalanx, send the Phalanx, summon Mistletoe, equip and summon the Phalanx, synchro away both of these into a Gaydurg. Gaydurg effect, search and pitch Sephiroth, overlay both of these into Atum. Atum's effect, summon RedMD from your deck. RedMD effect, here you bring back the Phalanx. Then you bounce RedMD with Sephiroth, take 400, synchro these 2 away, For Vajrayana effect, summon back the Phalanx. You banish Phalanx, summon Red Eyes effect, summon back the Gayderg. Here you can either search and pitch Phalanx. Since you banished it with Red Eyes, you want another one in rotation. Or if you have more Phalanxes in hand, or if you have something like a discard trap, you could even go for a Blue Eyes to get a free +1 to your hand. No matter what you go for, you then overlay these two into a Photon Strike Bouncer. While Bouncer perhaps is not the most oppressive monster interaction you could end on, it's certainly better than a Drago should it not even summon light or dark monsters. And with this field you have Ravine for follow-up, REDU and Atum to summon additional bodies for next turn. If you enjoy my content, make sure to also subscribe to my second channel, linked in the description box down below.